podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
Boxingvoice.com. We don't fight for rings and stuff like that. I don't fear anyone.
En este deporte no se viene a jugar y no le tengo miedo a nadie.
You don't come to play in this sport. I fear no one in this sport.
Does that mean that you will fight Triple G later this year?
Como lo dije en la pelea pasada, ahorita mismo me vuelvo a poner los guantes.
As I said in the last fight, right now I'll put on the gloves again.
¡Viva México!
Canelo wants to unify all the titles.
When did you realize, Andy, that you could take his power?
Because of the Mexican warrior that I am, I got that Mexican blood in me, so talking about the Mexican style, I just proved it.
Boxingvoice.com.
Ain't no other sight in the game to see the Boxing Voice.
Good morning, TBV. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another morning edition with the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs, joined alongside Alexander Lionez in New Jersey and Enrique Casual Fan Church, working remotely from work. But whose house is this? Moore's house in the building, and we're back to discuss Mike Tyson taking a shot at the Charlo. He says that Jermall Charlo not strong enough to beat Canelo. And that's gotta hurt some of these Charlo fans. If not Charlo himself. I mean, you think about it. Put yourself in Charlo's shoes. You've been boxing all your life. You've probably been looking up to Mike. And now, you know, your greatest fight, he's telling you and the world that you will lose, that you are not strong enough. And then he goes a step further.
But he also, go ahead.
I was
going to say, he also.
The step further was he said that the fight will end in knockout and it ain't going to be
Right.
Canelo. He said it won't be Canelo. So all you fucking haters, Crawford included, there you go. There you go. Mike Tyson, the legend, the living legend, the great. He letting you know, like, Charlo's good, but he just ain't strong enough for Canelito. He just ain't strong enough. But fellas, this is what we talking about. Mike Tyson and the fact that he doesn't feel Jermall Charlo is strong enough to beat Canelo Alvarez. And the fact that Canelo versus Saunders sold over 20,000 tickets in one mother effing day. In one day, he sold more tickets than any of your favorite fighters. Any of them. Whoever the fuck they are. Just saying.
Monster kill.
One day, over 20. But y'all said, who's Billy Joe Saunders? He's on a UK Bum of the Month tour. He loves Euro guys. Won't you tell your favorite fighter to sell like Billy? Why, if this is a whack fight, over 20,000 have already bought tickets in one day? They didn't even leave us poor people any tickets. It's over. We got to watch it on Dazn live. And if you ain't got Dazn, you know the link is in the description, so you could go ahead and do that on us.
Hadouken!
But fellas, buenos dias. How you doing?
Good morning.
What up?
Morehouse got the bag up, y'all. Morehouse got the punching bag up, y'all. So
Watch out.
Yo, I wanted to say, Ness, I wanted to say that. So Mike Tyson, I know he's a pro boxer, knockout artist, but he got that information like a lot of people did based off the Avni, that the last fight that Canelo won, that he just like went in and handled business with two hands real quick and left.
Yeah, fight with you.
So we thinking the Yildirim fight is how a Charlo fight would look?
Nah, we definitely ain't going based off the Yildirim fight. It's based off Canelo's skills. I want to assume, Mike ain't looking at Canelo's last fight like, oh yeah, he beat Yildirim, so he could beat Charlo. Nah, that
I mean, they're good as
dead. But we always say, you as best as your last performance, right?
Well, you absolutely right. You only as good as your last performance, and in his last performance, he stopped somebody, so that's why he's looking good. But you know how it is. It don't mean fighter A beats fighter C because he beat fighter B.
Yeah, I resort to that. So I'm like not saying that the Yildirim fight is how Charlo fights. I think Charlo will give a bigger fight. I thought Mike Tyson said it will end in a knockout because those guys are gonna go at it. Because Charlo's gonna come to fight.
You can't touch me, you're not man enough. I mean, he said whatever he said, but he damn sure ain't say that Jermall was gonna win. He said Canelo would win, and Jermall's not strong enough. So if it's ending in knockout in Tyson's mind, he thinking Canelo knocks him out, which is crazy. Obviously, he didn't knock out Callum Smith, but hey, man, Tyson is a legend, and who the hell are you to tell him that he can't, give his opinion on whether or not he thinks Canelo beats a guy like Jermall Charlo?
Nah, I'm
Just
definitely
look
not
at the
the guy to
history.
be like, yo, Mike, looking at Mike's opinion and like he don't have one. I'm just saying.
I mean, look, it was interesting to him to say
Hold
that.
on. Moore's House, what you were saying, just look at what history. Teach us.
Just look at Canelo's history. He's been rocked. Triple G rocked him. Jacobs rocked him, and he's just a rock. He ain't fallen. He hasn't fallen, and I don't think he will fall unless he messes with that Better BF character, and that's jumping way up there.
Man,
Anywhere
he stops Better
168 and down, no one's touching him. Well, knocking him out.
I always thought Jermall was a very strong fighter. I wonder what I guess the history, right, Morehouse, that Mike Tyson is using as a barometer to say that. I mean, Jermall's always been a strong fighter. I don't know exactly where he would have pinpointed it that he is for sure stronger, but Canelo has shown it in the history. He's fought bigger guys and he's shown he's a strong guy. He spars heavyweights. We've seen the clip with Sanchez, and I just still feel like that might be that might just be Mike Tyson's opinion. Jermall Charlo is a strong fighter. He's a big 160. That's why we want him to move to 168. And I think that he's just gonna be just as strong as Canelo if they were to go head up.
Yo, but what if Mike is assessing this all off of Jermall Charlo's statements? I mean, Charlo's the one out here, 24 hours ago saying, man, I'm really a 54-pounder, bro. Y'all want me to move up, bro. I just got to 60 and just got acclimated, bro. Like, yo, I'm a 54-pounder. I can move down. I moved out so my brother could continue. So it's like maybe he is small. Maybe he isn't a strong enough because he's only naturally a 54-pounder in his own mind. So Mike looks at him like, nah, he ain't strong enough to knock out Canelo. Just saying, we got to reach here because Mike was pretty clear. He literally says, Jermall's not strong enough, but, we're trying to see if there was more to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because he's literal.
That's what I want to know.
He's very literal. He's letting you know Jermall's not strong enough. We're trying to see if there's any hidden gems in his statement.
Well, I'm gonna go back to the history that Morehouse threw out. Derevyanchenko and Jermall. He gave a hell of a fight, and Derevyanchenko's a strong ass fighter. You saw what he did to Gennady. So I think that Jermall will not be knocked out. It would be hell of impressive if he were to be knocked out though by Canelo.
Nah, you right. I mean, that Gennady Derevyanchenko performance was kind of a pulling of the skirt back for Gennady, and a guy like Derevyanchenko gained a lot of momentum off that. But Charlo took that right off. He nipped that in the bud. He handled Derevyanchenko the way a champion should. It wasn't as close as any other of Derevyanchenko's fights. But I don't know that he necessarily showed that he's this big, strong guy by beating Derevyanchenko, because Derevyanchenko, after that fight, decided to move down. So was Derevyanchenko just too small for the division? And after his consecutive losses at the top of the division, he decided, hey, maybe I am too small. Maybe I don't belong at 160. Maybe I should go to 154 because I can't bang with these guys. So again, that doesn't make Charlo big. It seems to make Derevyanchenko small. He chose to go back down. But with that in mind, he's going back down to 54, a division that Charlo just said he could go back to. So again, I just, couple that together and say, well, maybe Charlo is small if he feels he can go back down. And maybe Mike is right and he's not strong enough because he's a natural 54.
And maybe when Mike said that he would knock out Charlo, maybe Mike was also alluding to the fact the way Charlo fights. He ain't going to back up constantly like Callum Smith. Callum Smith was not going to get knocked out in that fight no matter what happened because he was backing up and moving. Charlo will fight him. Maybe that's another reason why Mike thinks that Canelo would eventually knock him out because he'll stand there and fight.
Oh, because you just said it right. I was about to ask you. So you think he'll stand there and fight? I don't know about all that. Bro, that dude got Ronnie Shields tutelage. I watched him when he had little dreads in his head. Those dudes could box. He could box just as good as Jermall on his toes, but he was always considered the puncher. He was always considered the big brother. So I think that, you know, in his mind, he's got to play that role, Doomy. You know, you got to be the big brother. You got to be this puncher, you know, so maybe he took on a different fighting style, but I believe he has the same boxing ability as Jermall. We noticed throughout his career, he definitely has a fantastic jab. So if you got a jab, you can box.
Love the uppercut too.
Yeah, no, he's just planted. He likes to stay right there in the pocket. He said it yesterday on Brian Custer. I like to stay in the pocket. I ain't afraid, bro. You know what I mean?
And look, and adding to what Tyson had said, and you put it up in the description, you know, he says, I don't think the guy's strong enough, but I think that guy, he's not afraid. And that's a big deal. That's a huge deal, and that's what happened to Yildirim. You know, like a deer in the headlights. He was overwhelmed. Yeah. He was overwhelmed with the presence and the speed and the power, and I don't think that's going to happen to Jermall. And if he gets popped, he'll adjust. And going back to what you were saying, him being, you know, not big enough for the division. I mean, to go up to 160.
Tyson said that.
Oh, excuse me. Tyson saying that he wasn't big enough. I mean, he's
Canelo.
at 160.
He's not strong enough to beat Canelo, is what Tyson's saying.
So if he's not strong enough and his size, you know, is not up to that 160, I mean, it takes a little acclimation, doesn't it? If he were to fight Canelo, it takes some acclimation for him to be at 168. I don't know how he would do that. I don't know if he would take a fight in between because I don't think that happens. I think that all happens. The adjustments have to happen in the camp. He would have to go up in that weight and make those adjustments in camp in order for him to be ready to fight Canelo right off the bat because it does take acclimation, man. It does take that time of adjustment in order for you to be able to move with this new weight. And, you know, to all those listening out there, you know, 8 pounds might not seem like much, you know, because God knows I gain and lose that in a day. You know what I'm saying? But to these athletes, it's a huge deal.
Yeah, when your body fat percentage is already low, 8 pounds is very, you know, that's a lot to lose if you're already like at 16% body fat. But just to give everybody the full quote, Mike Tyson says, and I quote, yeah, I think he stands out alone. Let's just stop right there because if I'm Canelo Alvarez, I'm this 15-year-old Canelo Alvarez starting my career in Mexico, a third world country. All I got is hopes and dreams. All I want is that red Audi R8. All I want is all those Lamborghinis that I've been able to achieve. But way back when I was 15, who could have told me I would be El Canelo? Who would have told him he would sell out 20,000 tickets, over 20,000 tickets in one day of pre-sale? Pre-sale. Listen. My man comes from the mud. We seen the first gym he ever started at.
Familia de paleteros, bro.
The hatred has to stop. And when you couple that in with the biggest name in boxing, Mike is TBE, the GOAT is Ali, but no one will ever be Iron Mike. There's none before him, none after. None with the attitude, none with the demeanor, none with the intimidation. Wilder was the baddest man on the planet, and he still didn't intimidate people like Mike did at the weigh-in. Mike is telling Charlo has to read these words. You know how he learned so much? From that Floyd Mayweather fight. He's going to wind up retiring undefeated. I'd like to see him fight that Charlo guy. Now, that's got to hurt. I guess in a way, Charlo could be looking at this as a little win, and he's like, well, at least he knows me.
He said the Charlo guy.
But if he's upset at this, he can be mad because he's like, the Charlo guy? What the fuck? You know Canelo, but you don't know me, Mike? I'm that Charlo guy? Which Charlo guy? Is it Jermall or Jermall? Be specific, Mike. So if I'm Charlo, I could get upset at that. I could get upset at that. But then he comes on to say, that's going to be a good fight. I don't think that guy's strong enough. Motherfucker, put some respect on my name. My name is Charlo. Charlo, not to be confused with Charlo, okay? Call me Charlo, not that guy. I don't think that guy's strong enough. But I think that guy, he's not afraid. Like, yo, say my motherfucking name, Mike. Make me happy in the morning. That the legend.
He's a little scared man. He's a very small, scared man.
I mean, keep it real. How would you have woke up if Mike has been saying your name repeatedly, whether negative or positive, but to wake up and he's not really saying your name, he's calling you that guy? That's almost like dismissing me. I'm that guy that's going to just lose to Canelo. I'm that guy that's not strong enough for Canelo. I know this shit can't be sitting well with Charlo, man. For real.
Has Charlo posted anything on social media at all?
Not yet.
He probably didn't even hear it.
Yeah. Yo, so he goes on to say this.
He might not want to piss Mike off.
He goes on to say this, but I think that guy, he's not afraid. I think he's smart, and I think he'll put up a fight till whatever happens, happens. That's going to be an interesting fight, but it's going to be a knockout. Ain't going the distance. And if you're already saying that Charlo ain't strong enough, well, then now you're saying that Canelo knocks him out. I mean, damn. But again, this could be motivation for Jermall Charlo. This could be motivation. Charlo could wake up this morning and go for a 10-mile run and say, oh, yeah, Mike? I'm going to show you. I will knock out Cinnamon.
Cinnamon. And again, man,
that's Charlo's little pet name
there
for
was an
Canelo.
interview with Shields the other day, and Shields said that Charlo will not move up for anybody unless it is unless it is Canelo.
Wow.
So I think we can rule out Benavidez and everybody else except Canelo.
And it's funny that he picked, out of everybody that's kind of being talked about, and I guess I'll say David Benavidez, right? Because he's the one that's kind of been on the forefront with, talking and trying to get a fight with these guys. But he out of everybody, he did mention Charlo, right? He didn't mention David Benavidez. He didn't mention any of the other guys. He mentioned Charlo. So I didn't see, or I don't know exactly. This is from the Hot Boxing podcast, I'm assuming, right, Ness?
Yep.
And I didn't get to check that out just yet, but in context, what I'm reading here is like he just, he picked Charlo as that guy, a guy that's not afraid, and a guy that he would like to see him in there with, regardless of whether he thinks he'll get him, he'll get knocked out or not. So
why show kid hating? Why show kid hating? Because Mike said it. It's true. Fuck out of here. Yeah, it's the gospel. When Floyd says something, when Floyd says, if he lets me, I can teach him how to beat Fury, the world goes fucking crazy then, right? When Floyd's in the ring teaching Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis loses his fucking, marbles. Now all of a sudden when another great legend says something, oh, it ain't nothing, fuck out of here. Man, you get the fuck out of here. Keep that same energy. When the greats talk, we listen. Let's not act like he ain't one of the greats. You know what I'm saying? But I know how haters work. We about to get a lot of people start discrediting Mike. Well, he ain't really great. He wasn't never really great.
They're gonna start killing his resume.
He wasn't really great, man. Who the fuck Mike beat, man? Mike out here talking, man. Charlo might have beat Mike, you know what I'm saying? Charlo got a better resume than Mike. Man, haterade. H2O. Haterade. Come on, man.
Nah, Tyson got, you can't take, look, I know Tyson is chilling nowadays. He's hanging out, got his own gas, you know what I'm saying? And every now and then you might think like, oh, Mike don't know what he's talking about. Mike know exactly what the hell he's talking about, Mike knows fighting, bro. The man's read so many war books, and the guy's got a war mind. So,
There goes the hate. I see the hate on Mike already. They hating on Mike already. Mike just turned down $25 million, but someone got the nerve to talk about Mike's bank account. Shut your ass up.
They're about to go into his wallet.
Shut your ass up, Nick.
When his wallet got nothing to do with what he's talking about.
No, that's some soft ass
it hurts.
Shut that soft ass shit up.
It hurts.
All that soft talking. I know you can do it, man.
It hurts them to hear Mike say this about their favorite fighter. It hurts them see Mike take the side of Canelo Alvarez. Play the fucking soundbite, man. Play the soundbite, man. Where the Mexican noise at, man? Give me some mariachis or something early in the morning, man. Here we go. for those that don't know what that is, the tune is saying, I am the boss of the bosses, my fellas, or my people. I am the boss of the bosses. And that's what Canelo is, man. You see bosses talking big about that boss because he is the big boss. He sold 20,000 tickets in one day with a dude you guys said was unpopular that nobody knew.
No one knows him.
How the hell he pulled that off? El mero, homie. El vato loco forever. You know what I'm saying? El vato that fought 4 boogeymen. That's why Tyson believes him, because Tyson knows what a real resume looks like and what a Crawford resume looks like. He can see the difference. That's right. El mero. El pinche mero, cabrones. That's right. Yes. Man, the only dude giving us fucking headlines. It's the only dude giving us headlines. Let's just be real. Who else is selling over 20,000 tickets in the pandemic? Oh yeah, Earl Spence. But y'all hate on him because he wants 60-40. You see what I'm saying? Dog, like, stop hating on people that's out here putting it on for your city.
Yo, and I got wind. They actually joined the WBC clean boxing program.
Yes. Vada is on board for Saunders, so no nasal spray. You ain't cheating Canelo Alvarez, my friend. You ain't coming over here with those UK rules. No, sir.
There was some conspiracy theories about Billy and his flu symptoms and stuff. So I'm glad that all this stuff.
You see the picture that Eddie Hearn posted of Billy Joe after sparring on Instagram yesterday? The dude's ready to fight right now, dude.
I seen a picture of Billy Joe with his sparring partner that was 8-0. That's ridiculous. You think you're gonna use an 8-0 dude to get you ready for Canelo Alvarez? No, sir. No, sir. And Billy's so silly. Ooh, that rhyme. Billy's so silly he went and got a Mexican with 8-0 and thinks that's Canelo? What the fuck? UK dude's crazy. So now all you got to do is be Mexican and a pro boxer and you can mimic Canelo? Man, this dude about to get the gypsy beat out of him. Watch.
Yeah, the comments are uncanny. It says, oh, snap. You got some people that actually think Billy's going to win. Billy going to kill Canelo in 3 rounds. That guy must...
Hell no. Whoever said
that guy doesn't even have...
FYI. Box his face off.
FYI, for all those dudes that want to still look for hate on Canelo and think that Spence is the big fish and be like, hey, Ness, man, Spence the big fish. Nah, Canelo just sold 4,000 more tickets than Earl Spence did in 24 hours. All right, so Spence took the whole longevity of the promotion to sell what he sold. Canelo just sold 4,000 more than Earl in 24 horas. Para todos los mexicanos que están ahí, todos los latinos que están ahí, todos los fanáticos de Canelo que están por ahí, alcen la mano. De mero cabrones. That's fucking right.
Oh man. Yo, Mike Tyson's opinion, you gotta remember, it's just an opinion, man. Don't go crazy out there.
But you gotta take it with no salt. You gotta take it as gospel. Yeah. It's Mike fucking Tyson. It's not just some YouTuber. It's not just some journalist. It's Mike Tyson that's done it on the highest level. Before $30 million purses was invented for Floyd and Canelo, Mike was making that. Don't let fools in the chat fucking try to brainwash you. It's not true. Mike was that dude before anybody was that dude except for fucking Ali and shit. So we ain't trying to hear that shit. You know, man, Mike done lost $30 million, you know what I mean? And fought for it on the same night as well. Like, come on, man. That's like Yoda. He been through it all. How the fuck you not gonna listen to him? Tell me. Why wouldn't we listen to a dude full of experience? Because he went bankrupt. Oh, so then he knows what not to do now because he been through it.
Yeah, a lot of people judge him, man. Even
what does bankruptcy have anything to do with his opinion? Who the hell he thinks he's gonna win a fight?
Hey, Moore.
Floyd told y'all to leave him alone.
Moore's house. I told you they was gonna look for a way to discredit the living legend because they didn't like what he said. He's putting down their favorite fighter. They are upset. You don't see how mad they are? Like little cats with their nails out.
Go back to the docks where you belong.
We got some super chats, man. We got
The
some.
hate is
what
real.
the hell is that? Is that Flipper having an orgy? The fuck? Yo, chill, man. No porn on YouTube, man. You know they're gonna flag us.
A lot of cats.
A lot of cats in an orgy. Boom, boom. Yo, Teddy B, Midwest Sports Talk said, Mike picked Mikey over Earl. Don't listen to him. Oh, so now you make one wrong pick. Everything else that comes out your mouth is wrong, huh? Mm-hmm.
He picked Fury over Wilder.
Yo, check the hate out. Another one back to back. Also, read up on Eddie Hearn pre-sale scams. So he's debunking both parts of the title. He's like, so what if Mike picked Charlo because he picked Earl, so his opinion no longer counts. He made one wrong pick, it's over. He can never pick again. And, by the way, big deal that Canelo sold over 20,000 tickets because Eddie's a liar and he scams. Man, get out of here, bro.
It's a pre-sale. It's a pre-sale scam. I mean, look, we're talking about Canelo, man. We're not. It's not like we're talking about a regular dude. Kid comes in with the super chat this morning and says, I'm a hater because I disagree. I'm not a fanboy or either a fighter. Stop the hater talk. I just want to see the fight. You fanboys are the worst. Call you the worst. Look, man, nobody's getting mad at you, Kid. You know what I'm saying? We can agree to disagree. All right, Champy? LJ Juarez says, dog, when you hit him with that when you hit him with that Tigres del Norte, I got my tickets yesterday morning. LFG. Yeah, you already know, champ, Jefe de Jefes.
Yo, is LFG life fucking good? Or life's fantastically good? Life fantastically great.
I think that's a good ass acronym.
Oh no, it goes it's let's freaking go. Let's freaking go. He got his ticket, so he's like, let's freaking go. So you part of the 20,000 over. Excuse me, Mike. Over 20,000.
He's already part of.
They talking about these pre-sale scams. Every big promoter does that. You know how the game works. It's not just Eddie. Everybody does it.
Man, I never heard of a pre-sale scam. Honestly, I've never heard of a pre-sale scam, and I've never seen a headline in boxing news about a pre-sale scam. Please send me a link, though, Teddy B. Send me something that says pre-sale scam. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I've heard talks about maybe like blowing up numbers and stuff, but like the actual pre-sale scam, nah, I never saw that either, bro.
I never saw that. But
LJ Juarez says about selling. Go ahead.
Yeah, LJ Juarez says they big mad Mexican flag pound for pound king. We got two more. Teddy B Midwest. Oh shit! Who has rolled up on us? Is it Doyan Francis?
Take the L out of lover. It's over, brother. Yo, what's going on, people out there? You already know what it is, man. It's the one and only Francis from Nexus Sports Talk, and you are listening to TBV. Well, you've already been listening to TBV. What's up? Thank you to my Lord and Savior for another one. Without him, none of this would be possible. Listen, fellas, big topic we talking about today. Canelo, Billy Joe Saunders, showing that they are who they say they are, and those are big draws. 20,000 tickets in the first day in a pandemic. In the first day, you got to they're putting some respect in the check. And Mike Tyson is the last person, with all due respect, that should be giving anybody advice.
He's a little scared man. He's a very small, scared man.
Elaborate, champ. Don't try to walk off. How can Mike not give a boxer advice? Please tell us.
A boxer, because he has made some mistakes himself. You understand? Hold on a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad. Go revise whatever.
Yeah. I'm glad you paused. I'm glad you paused because
my apologies.
I'm glad you paused. I'm really glad you paused because I hope you know what making mistakes in your lifetime gives you.
Yeah, experiences.
All right.
I'm right there with you. Listen, saying, I thought about
Can
it
I
very
get a hell yeah?
Let me explain. Now, I thought about it very thoroughly, but you got to look at it with the experiences that Mike Tyson has experienced. He hasn't taken that knowledge and passed it on to somebody else and has shown fruits of it. Like that tree hasn't bared any fruit. You understand what I'm saying? So,
bro, he has kids.
Bruh. When he signed,
I'm talking about the
listen
fight.
to me. Listen to me, doggy. Let me ask you a question. To just debate that one part. You don't believe Erickson Lubin is who he is because of Mike?
No.
Wow.
I don't. Personally.
Okay. So when Mike signed them at 18,
hold on.
So when Mike signed them at 18 to Iron Mike Promotions, and no one ever heard of the Hammer, and Mike was out there doing interviews with him, that didn't help his 18-year-old profile to boost to where it is now?
Listen, you know why? You know what? I'm gonna agree with that part of it, and I'll tell you why. Because you said something that I think you're forgetting, right? You're forgetting when Ryan Garcia went on to the podcast with Mike Tyson. It was massive. We talked about Gilla the Kid and his podcast, and you said that's Mike Tyson. It doesn't matter who Mike Tyson attached itself to. It's going to be big because it's Mike Tyson, just like Floyd Mayweather. If you could be 16, if Floyd attaches himself to you, it's going to be big. We're talking about semantics, man, the intricacies of Mike Tyson taking time out of his busy schedule to impart knowledge into these kids and the experiences that he has had. I personally don't believe that. We've seen Evan Holyfield said his own dad just don't got the time based on his schedule to impart the knowledge on a day-to-day, hand-to-hand basis. It just is what it is. That's just my belief.
Didn't he just pass down his knowledge to Teofimo Lopez to go to Triller and get that big bag?
Nah, he was just a connection. He was literally just a connection. He just did business with him, so it's a phone call.
A connection that he helped the young man get. It's passing on down knowledge.
Okay, so he was on the phone with Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis. Where is that? Where's the knowledge that he passed on to Ryan Garcia? He didn't get packed. He was talking. Where's that? That's my point.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Situations. It's all situational. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't believe it from my standpoint. I stand on my 10.
Y'all woke up and chose violence this morning.
Troy, what up, champion?
Yo, man, is that they out here trying to play Mike's name like now because Mike chose Canelo. He's a bum. You know, He made bad business decisions.
No. I never said that, but
who he really for? Mike ain't successful. Mike bankrupt. Like, yo, the hatred is crazy, man. Canelo makes these grown-ass men hate their own family to prove a point.
You know, I want to say this. It's hard for, like, a black dude to pick somebody else besides somebody being black. They really be acting like that's a problem. Like, I heard you talking about this yesterday, so I don't want to, like, put too much attention on it, but what is wrong with folks when you can't even just like somebody because they nice? Like, what happened to that? Hey, I like son, he nice. Like, that's just what I'm on. Like, I'm black, so I ain't really tripping. If Mike Tyson said Canelo is the truth, then what happened to Mike Tyson, the only one out here trying to fight somebody, and he old, and these young cats ain't trying to fight? Hey, bro, Mike Tyson know what he talking about. I mean, sometimes you can be wrong. He said Pacquiao was going to beat Mayweather, and that happened, and he gave it up. He was like, Mayweather's the best. Like, that was it.
Don't ask me that
question. Know?
Yeah, everybody has a right to be wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. We're human, man. It's called human error. We make mistakes. We see things one way and it goes the other way. It just is what it is. But at the end of the day, Mike Tyson is who Mike Tyson is, man.
And who's that? And who's that?
Yeah, who's that, dog? You got me mad. That's my legend.
A living legend.
That's my legend right there, champ.
I'm about to tell you, he's an icon, man. Mike Tyson is on the realm of Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson. Like,
he's an icon living.
People who don't have TV know who Mike Tyson is, man. Like, you understand what I'm trying to tell you? But at the end of the day, you know, when we talking business.
Yo, how you gonna say that? How you gonna say that Mike ain't the guy to get advice from? Yeah, some of y'all in the chat is nuts, man. That's the guy you want to talk to. He's been through the ugliest of ugliest in the sport. Like, that's the guy I want to pick the brain.
Yo, they really nuts. I said Lubin and how Mike put Lubin on all them years ago, and people started taking shots at Lubin. And this is what I'm saying, that we don't need these type of boxing fans, because when Lubin was as young as he was and he wanted to take a shot at motherfucking Charlo, why are we now belittling him, discrediting him because he failed at an attempt to be great? You know, so we would have laughed at Tio because he lost to Loma at 16-0. Like, I don't get that. Like, this young man worked his way to the number one position to fight the champion in a short amount of fights, and we laugh. We're gonna belittle him because he didn't win. Yo, it's insane. Just to win an argument for today. Tomorrow, Lubin will be fighting. He'll be fighting someone else who you don't like, and you'll be all on Lubin's fucking nuts.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what it is to try to be great. That was a big risk he took. Yeah, we all knew it, you know. But Lubin's still coming on the comeback.
Man, I'm just happy we got guys like Ya on the panel and guys like Ronnie Shields to talk boxing with, and not just some of these weirdos, man. I'm about to go send this link to Ronnie so we could talk to him, who's actually trained some professional heavyweights and professional champions and trains Jermall Charlo as a champion and knows Mike Tyson personally. Let's see what he has to say, because his opinion would be a little bit more valid than ours, because he's probably got some dealings with Mike, and he also trains Jermall Charlo, you know. So maybe he'll have a different opinion, obviously, but at least we know it won't be a skewed bias, hatred, or hateful.
Hey, like I just said, Ness, he must feel somewhat confident because he said he ain't going to move up to 168 unless it is Canelo.
Speaking of the world-renowned trainer, he's just hopped on, Mr. Ronnie Shields. Buenos dias, my friend. How are you? Ronnie, you hear us?
I'm here, man. Can you hear me?
We hear you. We hear you. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. On my way to the gym.
Beautiful. So we wanted to talk to you this morning and just get your thoughts on Mike Tyson. What's your thoughts on Mike Tyson? I hear he's coming back versus Evander Holyfield. Obviously, you know Mike very well, and you know the heavyweight division very well. You've watched his last fight with Roy Jones. What do you think Mike brings to the table versus Evander? Are we going to get a little bit better of a fight than we did in the Roy Jones, or you think it'll be right on par with that?
You know, I don't know, because I haven't seen Evander do anything yet. You know, I haven't haven't seen anything. So I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. It depends on Evander. You know, Evander is one of these guys, man, that he's so determined. Once he makes his mind up to do something, he does it. You know?
So
that's who he is.
So based off what you've seen with Mike in the Roy Jones fight, are you expecting a better version of Mike now that this will be his second fight back?
Of course. I mean, once you get in the groove of it, you know, it's easier. It's a lot easier. You know, he just you know, Amanda.
All right. Well, Ronnie's on the way to the gym, so the service might be a little bit choppy here and there. But Ronnie, this morning we're talking about Mike Tyson and his thoughts on your fighter, Jermall Charlo. He interviewed Canelo on Hot Boxing with Mike, and you know, they talked Jermall Charlo, and Mike said that Charlo will give Canelo a good fight, but ultimately he doesn't think he is strong enough to beat Canelo, and that fight ends in knockout with Canelo winning.
Well, you know, everybody has an opinion, man. You know, until the fight happens, we don't know. You know, I mean, I think Jermall has the skills to knock Canelo out also. He got the power and the skills to knock Canelo out. So, you know, it's a fight that you don't know what's going to happen until it happens.
So Ronnie, how does that work? And guys, feel free to jump in. Don't let me hog them. How does that work, right? Because, I mean, a hater, right, a Jermall Charlo hater would say, man, Ronnie's crazy. He didn't knock out Korobov. He didn't knock out Derevyanchenko. You know, he didn't knock out a few guys. How's he going to knock out Canelo Alvarez, pound for pound, numero uno?
Look, man, you know, styles make fights. And look, let's go back to when he fought Chinko, right? People thought Chinko was going to beat him. Everybody was on the bandwagon. You know, the guy's too tough. He really beat Danny Jacobs. He really beat Triple G. He did this. And Jermall beat him easier than both of them.
Mm-hmm. No,
you
can't
know?
deny that.
And I'm telling you, they should have stopped the fight. Like, the guy couldn't see. You know, the guy was busted up. You know, he was losing almost every round, and you still let him goddamn take a beating. So, you know, Janet Jacobs didn't do it. You know, Triple G didn't do it to him. So, look, Jermall gets up for whoever's in front of him. And, you know, he gets up for for so-called big fights, you know? And so, you know, what you got to do is you got to look at Jermall's style and look at Canelo's style. And then you'll see, you know, if you can't see the difference between these styles, between the guys that Canelo has been fighting, and look at Jermall and see the way he does things, then, you know, then it's hard for you to see. You know, a lot of people are fans of Canelo. And of course you don't want Canelo to lose. But as a fan, you know, nobody has broken down the fight, you know, because they just see Canelo as being Canelo. And I see Canelo as being Canelo also, but I know what to do in certain situations. And that's going to be the key to it, is that when Jermall gets in there, you know, Canelo has never fought a guy with a jab stronger than Jermall. He's never fought a guy who can throw combinations and rip the body and, you know, and throw combinations, and always in great shape. So, you know,
I mean,
Ronnie,
but the argument to that, Ronnie, is that Jermall's never been in there with a dude that's always in shape like Canelo, or that rips combination shots, and especially to the body like Canelo. Like, the same could be said.
You know, besides Floyd Mayweather, look what Floyd Mayweather did to him. Okay? Just look what Floyd Mayweather did to it, and it's still the same Canelo. He ain't no different than when he fought Floyd Mayweather. So, but I'm saying is he's never fought somebody as strong as can rip punches the way. That's my point. And when Floyd did it to him, you know, I mean, everybody want to dismiss it and say, oh, he was a young kid, he was this, he was that. Look, anytime you step into that middle of that ring, you know, you can't make excuses. You got to just go ahead and accept the fact that he lost to Floyd Mayweather.
Ronnie, going along with what Mike has said, right, and I'll quote, it's Alex Doomsday Liners, by the way, Ronnie, thanks for coming on. He says, I don't think that guy's strong enough, but I think that guy, he's not afraid. How important is the mentality going into a fight with Canelo, and how do you see Jermall? How do you compare Jermall to other fighters that have approached a Canelo fight?
Well, look, I mean, you gotta have mentally. If you ain't right mentally going into any fight, you know, you have to. That's crazy, but you know, look, Jermall is a hard worker. He trains hard, and you know, and then, you know, we're always working on our game plan. Every day we'll work on the game plan. And, you know, and that's what you have to do. You can't do anything different for fighting Canelo than you do for anybody. You know, you got to have a game plan. You have to stick to your game plan. You have to have faith in your game plan that it's going to work for you. You know, and Canelo is no different. You know, he has to have a game plan for every fight he's in also.
But Ronnie,
I mean, you put on his pants one leg at a time like everybody does.
But you literally saying that Canelo didn't learn or change from Floyd till now. That's impossible.
That style. He didn't learn that style. That style is so different. You know, Floyd's style is different than a lot of people do. Not to say that Jermall fights like Floyd, but I'm saying is, you know, Floyd was jabbing the crap out of him, and he didn't know what to do. And when Floyd started ripping combinations on him, and Floyd wasn't there for the return. That's the way you fight Canelo. You hit him and don't be there for the return.
I mean, it can't. There's no way he'll be fooled twice. Like, he's a different fighter. He's learned from that. The way he cuts the distance off is different.
How you know he's never fought somebody again like that? Who has he fought like that? Look, again, but let me go back. When I had Laura to fight him, you know, look, Laura gave him fits. He didn't know what to do with the side-to-side movement. He didn't know what to do when Laura threw combinations, then he wasn't there for the return. So, I don't know what you're saying. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Just go watch the live fight and you'll see it.
Yeah, but again, Laura gave him a tight fight because at that time Laura was
Laura beat him.
Laura beat him. He definitely ain't beat him. Laura,
I didn't think Laura beat him.
Yeah,
you know, I respect.
Laura ain't do it. Laura ain't did enough. I'm gonna be honest with you though, Ronnie. I promise you on everything I love. When the fight first happened and I watched it live, I definitely thought Laura was robbed. But watching that fight again, hell no, man. You must ain't never went back and watched it. There's no way. There's no way after settling down and watching it on TV, like, man, hell no. Hell no. No.
I thought Canelo won 2 off the strength that he threw none but power body shots. The only question I gotta ask for you, Mr. Shields, is I know like everybody compare how Floyd beat Canelo, but when I watched the fight, from my perspective, I didn't see Floyd running. I seen him being able to neutralize Canelo in certain spots in the pocket. Now, I'm not telling you to give up the game plan, but it's a lot of people that don't possess the defense capabilities and technicalities that Floyd got. You know, I just hope that, you know, I already know that you're working on what you're supposed to working on, but is Charlo gonna be able to stay on the inside if Canelo was putting pressure and stay there and be able to move his head on the inside?
Uh-oh, he froze.
Oh, absolutely. Let me tell you something. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Look, let me tell you something. The thing about it is that, you know, everybody looking at what Canelo does best. You know, everybody. When you look at Canelo, that's what everybody do. They look at what he does, this and that. But you got to understand, Jermall is a big guy, and he throws combinations, and he's a strong fighter. So, you know, he has to be smart in there, of course, like always. You know, once Canelo get hit more than once, twice, a problem for him. You know, this is not training. This is not gym training. This is a real fight with 10-ounce gloves on. So you got to understand that, you know, Canelo is a man. You know, you're trying to make him out to be a non-human, and he's human. So, you know,
Ronnie, he's sparring heavyweights, Ronnie.
Excuse me?
He's sparring heavyweights on a regular.
What the hell that got to do with it? Jermall ain't no heavyweight.
Exactly. So he preparing himself for the power, though.
I know. For the power. How you prepare yourself for power? You know what you do?
By taking them shots in training.
Hold on. Let me correct you on something. When you sparring, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw that little BS sparring that he was doing with
Frank Sanchez.
Frank Sanchez. That wasn't sparring. You call that sparring?
Bro, did you see how hard Frank Sanchez tried to land that left hook, Ronnie?
Man,
you tripping.
He wasn't hitting like that. Let me tell you something. Okay. Let me tell you something. But you know what? Let me explain something to you that you don't know by you never being inside the ring. Okay? The more you get hit with them hard ass punches, okay, the more you're breaking yourself down. So
Absolutely.
I wish he keeps sparring with Frank Sanchez. Let it keep sparring with Frank Sanchez. Let it keep taking those so-called hard shots you think he's getting hit with. Okay?
Yeah, that ain't no good.
Please let him do it.
Listen.
Please let him keep on doing it.
Listen. First of all, he got 20s
on. A non-fighter and a non-trainer, you would know that.
He got 20s on and headgear, so it's taking some off that.
What you got to do with it?
It's taking some off that.
Frank just pounded him. You know, he's still breaking him down. So let him keep doing it.
Wear and tear.
Ain't no wear and tear.
When you talk to them,
y'all keep waiting for Canelo to wear and tear. Y'all keep waiting for Canelo to wear and tear, man. Meanwhile, he 30 years old with the best resume in boxing in the last 20 years or some shit like that, man. I mean, obviously you got Floyd. But listen, Ronnie, what do you think about Terrence Crawford yesterday said that Canelo has been shying away from Jermall and Andre, and he believes that black fighters give Canelo the most problems?
Well, I think the proof is in the pudding, man. Just go watch his fights, and you'll see that yourself. You don't have to have them to say that. You know, you can see that yourself. Of course, black fighters give him the most problems.
I mean, but he beat.
That's a given.
He beat what? He beat Laura Trout and Love More Nadu and Jacobs and only lost to Floyd.
Yeah. So I don't know what you're saying. I mean, if you just go back and look at all the fighters that he had problems with, yeah, it was black fighters.
Do you feel he's avoiding Andre and Charlo, or shying away from him?
I don't. You know, like boxing. I think people forgetting that boxing is a business, right? So now he wants to go after titles. You can't fault him for that.
Mm-hmm.
We want to go after a title, or go after different titles. I don't think he's shying away from anybody. I never said he shied away from Jermall because I don't think. I mean, I understand the business. You know, look, if you could keep getting titles, keep getting titles. There's no problem with that. You know, I don't blame him for that. I'm not, and nobody's saying that. But I'm saying is this: when he was at 160 pounds, he wanted to unify the titles. He wanted to do this, wanted to do that. And then when Jermall became a champion, he wasn't fighting. He went up. Okay, and I applaud him for that. But now that he's there at 168 pounds, I understand he wants to be the unified champion. He wants to be the undisputed champion. I got no problems with that. But we'll see what happens after he get all those belts. Then let's see what he does.
So let me ask you, Charlo, Jermall Charlo, your fighter, was on the Last Stand podcast with Brian Custer. It aired yesterday, and he insinuated that you guys are attempting to get Triple G into the ring, but then we seen Daniel Jacobs and Andre Rozier link back up. Is the fight with Jacobs or with Triple G, in your opinion? What's next for Charlo?
But Jermall is going to defend his WBC middleweight belt on, look like it's going to be June 12th. We have no opponent yet. We don't know no names
June
yet.
12th. That's a great date.
That's so dope.
Shakur on that card too, yeah.
So wait, June 12th, and you don't have no opponent yet, you're saying?
No.
But you like giving the boxing voice you always give us the inside info, man. You told us it was going to be Dervinchenko.
If I had a name for you, I would give it to you.
So they ain't throw nothing at y'all yet? Nobody?
I don't have no name right now. I don't have a name yet.
They ain't throw no one at you yet.
Nobody yet.
How do you prepare for that?
It ain't even April yet. It's not even April.
We got time, man.
8 to 10 weeks.
It's like 8 to 10 weeks. We got a lot of time, so. But like Jermall been training for the last month already. So, he's coming here today. So, we've been working out about 3 days a week for the last month.
I need you to explain to the best of your ability this Benavidez situation, because damn, Jermall don't sound like he got that energy for Benavidez. Like in one sentence, he'll say, this dude's a boy. When I got my first title, he still had braces. I'll snap his neck. And then he turns around and says, like, yo, I'm not a real 68. I could go back down to 54. I left 54 for my brother. Like, he makes it seem like, yo, I'm bigger and will kill this guy, but at the same time, I'm smaller and shouldn't be fighting this guy. Have y'all talked about that fight yet?
I don't have to speak about it with him. Look, listen, let me tell you something. Right now, Jermall Charlo is the middleweight champion of the world. Simple as that. If and when he's getting ready to go up to 168, you pick and choose where you want to go. Of course you want the top guy, and the top guy is Canelo Alvarez. Now, if Benavidez had a belt, then it would be interesting, because now, we have something to look forward to, and you get something out of it. What do he get out beating Benavidez right now?
Well, I got it. I got the answer. I got the answer for you. But
he gets nothing for it.
No, he absolutely gets something. But let me ask you, because you've been with the both brothers for so long. Obviously, you're no longer with Jermall. But do you happen to manage Jermall, and is he advised by Al, or are you just straight trainer?
I'm straight trainer, but also, but everything comes through me also.
Okay. Well, the reason I ask is because someone on Jermall's team simply needs to petition. As the WBC champion, he can ask to be placed in an eliminator with David Benavidez, who's the #1 mandatory. Now, remember, Canelo just fought February, so his mandatory for that WBC at 168 won't come around till next February. But if Charlo beats Benavidez, he is that mandatory.
But listen, as a champion, a champion supersedes a mandatory.
Exactly.
Don't you know that?
Yeah, so with the WBC title, he could just ask for a
he's
shot.
He's a champion coming from the middleweight division. He'll supersede David Benavidez anyway. So why he have to fight David Benavidez if he go supersede him anyway?
Because
so he gets nothing out of beating David Benavidez. You got to get ranked #1. We don't. We passed that. We jump over to #1 because you're coming from a different division as the champion. So you don't have to fight David Benavidez to be a mandatory.
Well, Ronnie,
you can definitely skip him. You're right. You could definitely petition as the champion below to fight the champion above, but it's Canelo. It might not get approved.
Well, why not? If Canelo want to fight him, it'll be approved. If he don't want to fight him, then of course it won't, because he won't petition for it.
Ronnie, we also, we took a look at the Lance Stand podcast, the interview that Jermall had on there, and we had our own little assumptions and theories of what route to take to lock in that Canelo fight, right? And two of those options were Triple G and Caleb Plant, because Jermall did mention them. And I'm curious to know on what you think is a better route, Triple G at the 160 or 168 Caleb Plant. He moves up and captures that belt and forces Canelo to fight him.
And let me just add that Charlo said Caleb Plant is too small for super middleweight anyway, that Caleb Plant has seen him in person and never had that energy for him, that Caleb Plant don't want it with him, and that he beats Caleb Plant. He said he's too small, so.
Well, here's the thing, man. Fighters have been talking their whole careers. And it's going to continue to talk. Sooner or later, fighters are going to start challenging heavyweights. Middleweights and super middleweights are going to start challenging heavyweights. That's just talk. It's all talk until it actually happens. So, I don't even have to talk to, and I haven't talked to Jermall about any of this, the beef between him and Benavidez and the beef with him and anybody. I've never talked to him about that, because it don't make sense to me. Fighters are going to talk, so.
But wait, Ronnie.
So you let them talk.
When you say it don't make sense, what exactly do you mean by that? Because the fight with Benavidez, we think it's a possible pay-per-view. Mexican versus black. He's a very popular. He was on the Earl Spence Mikey undercard. He's a 2-time youngest champion at 68. I mean, there's a lot to sell there. And for Jermall, he's daring to be great. He's moving up to capture yet another division world title and be a 3-time division champ. I mean, there's a story to sell in Mexico. Well, I mean, in Texas. He's from Houston. The other one's from Arizona and Mexican descent. I mean, come on, Ronnie. This makes plenty of business sense. Plenty of business sense. But listen,
wouldn't you want to see him in the ring with a 168 before he goes after Canelo?
If I want to see him against a 168,
before he goes to Canelo.
Test the waters at 168 before going after Canelo.
If we can go after, who do you think we'll choose? It's a simple question. If the Canelo fight happens, Canelo comes and says, "Hey, okay, we'll fight Charlo." So you think Jermall would turn that down and fight Benavidez?
No.
Nah, absolutely not. And that acclimation that Morehouse just mentioned, Ronnie, that acclimation can happen in camp, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be that he fights a 168er in order for him to be ready at that division. You can acclimate to that weight in camp, no?
Oh, absolutely. Look, we spar with bigger guys now. So Canelo.
So you're deteriorating. You deteriorate taking those big punches from them big guys like Canelo.
Listen.
I'm teasing.
I know you are. But look, let me tell you something, man. I'm smart enough in the gym to know who to put my guy in the gym, in the ring with. You know, and you ain't proving nothing to me because you spar with heavyweight. That doesn't prove anything. What does it prove? That you training? Okay, you training. You know, I mean, look, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to train. But if you want to train with heavyweight, that's hey, by all means, do what you got to do. But you know, I'm not putting my fight in with a heavyweight, you know, because I know that's not going to be the best work for him. I put him in with people who I know is going to give him good work. Now, if that's a light heavyweight, yes, sometimes, absolutely. But I'm not putting him in the ring with a heavyweight because it doesn't do him any good.
Don't make no sense.
For what? For what? Is Frank Sanchez going to fight a guy faster than Canelo Alvarez?
But that's what it's about, Ronnie. You tripping. That's what it's about. Listen, the smaller man gets in there with the bigger man to deal with the weight and the power, and the bigger man gets in there with the smaller man to deal with the speed.
Once you're past 25 pounds, once you're past 25 pounds,
so you telling me Frank Sanchez can't work on?
Absolutely not.
Ronnie, you telling me
Frank? Trying to be a trainer, Nesta.
You telling me
Ronnie? Stop trying to be a trainer. So you trying to be a trainer, Nesta.
So you saying a heavyweight can't work on speed by sparring a smaller man?
Listen to the man telling you. He's trying to explain to you, man, how this works.
I used to fight at 54. And I was too small for 54 because I'm 5'8.5". Yeah, I'm stocky, but in actuality, them dudes be like 5'11". They walk around at 170 because they be cutting weight, bro. That's too big. Exactly. Like if I'm a welterweight, I can spar a 54-pounder.
Stop listening to all these fans that don't know shit.
Yeah, like Ness. If he getting some work with Canelo, they just trying to fill it out to see how Canelo would do way in the future. Frank Sanchez, if he was really to go to Canelo's guts, bro, it would be horrible. He would not last. So that's when they be saying all of these guys be sparring heavyweights. No, they be sparring.
Look, he put out a clip. He put out a clip with a heavyweight, and everybody got excited. That's what it was. Everybody was like, "Oh!"
It's more about the
stage.
Stage?
Everybody got excited when Jermall Charlo was sparring Errol Spence. Like everybody was like, "Oh, Jermall Charlo be no." Listen, you can't put two dogs like that in the ring with each other in practice. They ain't gonna have nothing for the fight, man. That don't work like that. Like people don't just show up with other champions in their camps and they just be butting heads. That's two bulls. That's too much punishment.
I talk to you. I talk to you.
Explaining you how this goes.
But Ronnie, listen, we can't let you get away without answering this Plant, man. I mean, your fighter says he could beat Plant, and I think Plant is one of the most. I mean, man, when you think of Canelo, you think of Plant, right? Like two dudes that are not black that got so much soul when they fight and style and swag. I mean, Plant is that dude. Do you think that that's an easy fight?
I think it'll be a great fight.
But is it an easy fight? Because Jermall makes it seem like that's an easy fight. He's saying Plant is too small for the division.
What fighter you know will tell you, "Oh man, that fight is going to be so hard for me," or "That fight is going to be this." Come on, man. No fighter, that a fighter is showing weakness if he tell you, "I don't know if I could beat this dude. I don't know this. I don't know." Come on, man. You know better than that.
But
of course, it's a tough fight.
Okay.
It's a tough fight. Okay. Look, Nessa, going into the ring is real. Okay? It's real. So, that means if anybody thinks this fight would be easy, that they wouldn't even train for it. They would just lollygag and do whatever they want to do. It don't work that way. Look, everybody.
I keep trying to tell him that, and they keep. Coach, I keep trying to tell him that, and they keep coming with these little amateur kids, and I'm like, hey, dog, it's not like what you think.
Yeah, hey, Ronnie, tell this dude that you got some amateurs that'll beat some pros up today. Tell me you ain't got
absolutely.
All right, so what is this guy talking about?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not this pro though.
Yeah.
Pro. Not this pro. Not this pro.
Yeah, like Ronnie said,
Not
the
this
fighter.
pro.
Hey, Troy, like Ronnie said, the fighter never gonna say the fight is tough, so it's all good. But listen, I want him to tell us about this Plant fight.
Because that is show you though.
That is a good route. Like, listen, if you could somehow, but hold on, Ronnie, hold on, because if you could somehow convince Al to give you Plant between now and before September, then you automatically become Canelo's next option because he want Plant belt. He already sent 3 offers to Plant. They already negotiating, according to Eddie, trying to talk to Louis DeCubas about that fight. If you steal that belt, he got to call you.
Well, Plant is injured right now, so Plant ain't fighting nobody right now.
Plant said he ain't fighting until September. He's resting up that hands.
Damn. So that's
he's injured.
That door closed.
So he can't do nothing.
Yo, Triple G, man, that's the call.
Yeah, but Triple G.
I'm gonna tell you like this: the Triple G fight is hard to make. It's hard to make when he has a signed contract with Dazn and Jermall got a signed contract with Showtime. So what network is it going to be on? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that?
But the rumor is that there was an offer that was sent out to Triple G for 1 fight on PBC and 1 fight on Dazn. Y'all equally get 1 fight apiece. Was that all internet rumors?
I've never heard that. I've never heard that.
Do you think that's possible?
If they reached out to Al Heyman about that, then he would call me and ask me about that. I'm telling you that right now. And he's never called and said anything about that.
Wait, so Al would call you to say, hey,
call me about every fight any one of my fighters have or are about to have, or if it's possible to make, he will call me first.
But how does that change the dynamic for you as a trainer just because the fight's not on a network that you're used to?
It's not, no. But what I'm saying is, if the fight wasn't offered through Showtime, they would have to get it approved by Showtime. You could talk about people fighting this and fighting that, but if it don't get approved by Showtime, then it ain't gonna happen. Simple as that. Now, I don't know who the Showtime brass is other than Steve Espinoza, and I'm sure he got bosses too that it would have to go through. So, for that fight to happen, what is going to be on Showtime or what is going to be on Dazn? I mean, how does that happen? Now, I know for a fact because I was involved in it when Lennox Lewis, and Mike Tyson fought, and they did a dual, a pay-per-view that was dual, and because Lennox won, it's got to be on HBO. So
if that Canelo fight happens,
it was the replay. But understand, Canelo doesn't. He have a fight-by-fight basis thing with Dazn. He don't have a contract with them, so he could do whatever he want to do. Right now, he's signed. He's just doing something on that network, but he can get off of that anytime he wants to, which is a very smart thing.
This last 2 fights was a 2-fight deal, but he made it that way so that he could be free to negotiate with Plant for that 3rd belt or that 4th belt rather. But Ronnie, back to Charlo because I'm looking at these WBC rankings and there's nobody there. Jaime Munguia is with Dazn and you don't sound confident of Dazn and Showtime hammering something out. And he's number 1. Derevyanchenko is number 2. You've already beat him. Liam Williams is number 3. He's already signed to fight Demetrius Andre for the WBO. Selecki, does that make sense to you? Common opponent with Daniel Jacobs, Gabriel Rosado.
Well, I don't think Selecki wants to fight Jermall because before Derevyanchenko, he was offered to fight and he turned it down. So why, I don't know. I have no idea. But look, just waiting to see what happens. It's you got 15 guys up there at the top that's eligible to fight. So what we have to do is we have to stay busy. We can't sit back, being as a champion and not fight. You have to continue to fight. So until the fight happens that you really want. So so that's what we have to do. We have to stay busy. We can't sit back and hope this fight happens. That fight happens. Jermall is not going to sit back and wait till September to get a fight. we're going to get busy like we're supposed to do. He's a fighter. He got to stay busy.
What do you know of this Juan Montiel guy who's ranked number 5, who seems like he might get a call?
Well, I don't.
He beat James Kirkland last.
Oh, he beat Kirkland. He knocked out Kirkland. Yeah. It could possibly be him because he's with Sampson. And, Sampson does a lot of business with BBC. So that could be a possibility.
So that's what I get you because you know I never been the world champ. So you ain't got to keep rubbing that in. But that's what I mean. But that's what I mean. Like, why defend against Montiel when you could have a big fight with Benavidez? You see what I'm saying? Like Benavidez and Montiel not even on the same stratosphere.
Look, man. Look. Boxing is strategy. You don't play boxing. It's strategy. It's strategy into getting you to the point to where you get the fight that you really want. And everybody is after one person. That's Canelo Alvarez. Understand something. If Benavidez, if he claims he wants the Canelo fight, why he's not asking for that fight?
Because he know he can't get it. So he asking for something he can't get on his side of the street.
What? He's the number 1 contender, right?
He can't get that till next year, Ronnie. That's how WBC works.
I know how WBC works.
And his people
I know how WBC works, but when you're talking about money, if Canelo really want to make some money, then Benavidez is the guy say, let me fight my mandatory.
Oh, he gonna fight him this time, believe me. He Mexican. That's gonna be a big fight in Texas, man. Y'all just gonna let that opportunity pass you by. If you take Benavidez, this is chess, not checkers. Take that piece off the board, and there's one less dude Canelo could fight.
Man,
Let me ask you.
The benches of boxing. Let's see what happens.
Was you impressed when Canelo moved up to 75 to beat Kovalev?
Was I impressed by the victory?
Yes.
Of course I was.
Okay. That's why I love you, Ronnie, man. You a straight up dude. Do you think Jermall could have done that?
I don't know. To go up to 175, I mean, he probably could have, because, Jermall, that's the biggest he get. I know Canelo probably get bigger than 175. So, but that's the biggest Jermall get right now. It's 175. So, I don't know. Styles make fights. And so, with style that Canelo has, and with the style Jermall has, it'll probably be, I think Jermall could have beat him, yes. But I think it would have been a more competitive fight than it was for Canelo because of Canelo's style.
And just to be clear, Gennady and Jaime and Andre, those are not really feasible because of the contracts, right?
Absolutely. Okay. I don't think it can happen. Look, Dazn has to talk to Showtime. Those are the networks. They control, they own. So, I don't know how I don't see how it could work out. I just don't see it right now because what do they get out of it? The networks are in business to make money. They're not in business just to, say, okay, we're going to satisfy you, we're going to satisfy you, we're going to satisfy you, and they're not getting nothing. So, what does it do for the network? That's the reason they're in business.
You think you're not with Laura anymore, are you?
No.
So you think Laura's an option? Because he's fighting Cornflake Lamana at 60 now. He's finally coming to 60. Are they setting that up for the future, or you think, you guys are too intimate and you won't allow that one to happen?
Well, it's not up to me if it happens. I don't care if it happens or not. I don't care. I mean, it would be a good fight, I think. But, but it's not up to me to say, I don't know why if he's moving up to 60 to stay at 60, but I think he might be testing the waters at 60 because sooner or later he's going to have to go there.
Okay. Well, anybody got more for Ronnie? I'm hogging him here. I know, Francis, you want to ask him all your...
Nah, Ronnie already answered all that for me already.
Oh, yeah? I thought you was going to ask him, what he has before. I'm going to ask him, Ronnie, what do you have to eat before Jermall goes into that big fight? While he's getting ready for that big fight, he's in the locker room. Do you even eat? Like, because sometimes I forget to eat because I'm so obsessed with work. Do you even eat before the big fight with Jermall, or are you just focused on rapping and warming him up and making sure he's mentally ready?
Yeah, I eat before I get to the venue.
Is there anything special you like to have before the big fight meal, or is it just whatever you can randomly get?
No, I mean, just whatever's there. Whatever's there. I have no problems eating. I mean, he has no problems eating either. It's no biggie. This is something you're supposed to do before training anyway.
Hey, Mr. Shields. Mr. Shields, it's because Nestor's his pre-fight meal is Waffle House.
Do you recommend he eat pasta before the fight, or do you let him do his thing? Because most fighters we've been asking, and this is Francis' favorite question, and then we've learned that a lot of fighters eat pasta before fighting.
Yeah, because pasta is easy. It's easy to burn off. You don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't want to have something. You don't want to have something in you that's hard to burn off, because then it bloats you. Number one, it makes you slower.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
You don't want to be bloated going in
the spaghetti sauce and pasta. The spaghetti sauce and pasta is very heavy, and it has a lot of vitamin C, and tomatoes are 90% water, so it rehydrates you, and it's red, and red foods are good
Troy, I'm about to rehydrate
for the
you.
base of your spine. So
I'm gonna rehydrate you, man. Make sure you're not on Wi-Fi, man. The little right side of your MacBook at the top, it got a little you got to make sure that's not white. If it's white, you want Wi-Fi. Stay on Ethernet. We got a super chat from Gunner Forever.
Rehydrate him.
We got a super chat from Gunner Forever for Mr. Shields, who says, "So fighting Montiel gets you Canelo? Laughing out loud. Hashtag La Gata."
Well, you tell him that this kid is ranked in the he's got to be ranked in the top 15 of the world.
No, he's number 5. He's number 5.
That's why you thought. But I'm saying is, as a champion, you can fight the top 15 guys in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you have a ratings. Maybe he don't understand ratings.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't understand that, then you don't need to be watching boxing.
Alrighty. Then.
All right.
And the last one is from Pat's Nation. I guess this Pates Nation, is that like Patriots? I don't know. Pates Nation or Pat's Nation says Benavidez is free to negotiate. Tell you, people want that fight. Listen, when you said Charlo's coming to the gym today, you need to talk to him like, hey man, I heard your interview with Brian Custard. You talked about a lot of fighters. Which one do you really want? So we could get you back on. Like, which one does he really want? Because he named a lot of fighters. I mean, he said Andrade, obviously, or Andre, excuse me. He said
it got to make sense for him. That's all.
Yeah.
He wants sauce, but it got to make sense.
Yeah. And I think maybe Ronnie, if you talk to Al and say, can we get some sort of interim title for the Benavidez fight? Maybe that makes sense.
Why? Look, Benavidez had a belt. Right?
He lost it.
He lost it on the scale.
Canelo has it now.
So, look, so that lets you know what kind of fighter he is, that you lose the belt on the scale.
Hey,
okay?
What happened?
Undisciplined, so all you got to do is take him out.
Listen, man.
Ronnie, let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this. Honestly speaking, in all the time you've had with Jermall, have you ever felt this type of energy from a one fighter to Jermall? Nobody's ever come for Jermall like this. Like, we've never had fans clamoring for a Jermall fight other than Williams this bad. Remember that's what made him say, y'all think I'm ducking? Well, I'm not moving up. I'm gonna make weight, struggle to make it just to beat this dude so y'all see I'm not afraid of him. But he hasn't had that energy coming from the fans since then. And now here it is again. People really think he avoided
coming from the fans all the time about everybody. Even with Canelo, the fans, fans want to see that fight. The fans want to see the Canelo fight, it just got to make business sense for both guys, and, right now Canelo, he wants to unify. He wants to be the undisputed champion. So we understand that again, but why can't, it don't make sense that you know, people want to see the Canelo fight. Everybody asks all the time, why y'all not fighting Canelo? Why y'all not fighting Canelo? Nobody is coming up and clamoring until recently about Benavidez because he's talking so much, you know. But at the same time, if Benavidez would have made weight and had a belt for Jermall to go up to fight him, you know, for the WBC title, then it would have made so much more sense. So all Benavidez got to do is blame himself because he don't have a belt. He don't have nothing that we could fight for.
Super duper last one. It's over. Is Jermall and Jermell back on the same card June 12th?
No, I doubt it.
Ooh.
I doubt it.
So Maul's main eventing June 12th.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely.
All right.
That's all what I understand.
Beautiful. Well, Ronnie, don't want to keep you. I know you at the gym, and we definitely have had you long enough. Thank you so much for always coming on and answering the tough questions and being a great sport with us and teaching us. And
teaching you.
By the way, I've been getting in the ring, Ronnie. I've been getting in the ring. You ain't gonna be able to say that all that too much more, man. I'm in there.
That's a problem. That's a problem with you broadcasting.
I was in there with Mike Polite Coffee, I have you know, the one that just, you know, did that to Damani.
Yeah, I know who he is.
I went a few rounds with her, man. I went a few rounds, you know, and his trainer is definitely.
Did he stop you?
I mean,
nah,
he
didn't.
He could have stopped me.
Ronnie, but he didn't.
Ronnie, he could have stopped me. You know, it was crazy because he said, like, no, I ain't gonna hit you hard. And the first punch he hit me with swelled my eye up, gave me a black eye. I'm like, bro, I thought you said you wasn't hitting me hard, man. Yeah, it was serious.
See? That's the same thing with Frank Sanchez and Canelo. Exact same thing.
We had a last second one come in on the super chat before you leave, Ronnie. If you had just one for time for one more. He said, right. This is Coach Myers from Connecticut, and he says Canelo is fighting Billy Joe and Plant after two high-level fighters. Do you think Charlo needs to fight better competition leading up to the Canelo fight?
Yes.
Charlo is the middleweight champion of the world, and you know, look again. You have contenders. Charlo was a contender at one time. You know, you got to be a contender before you be a champion. So, you know, so you have to fight the contenders if you want to hold your belt. Otherwise, you get stripped of your belt if you don't continue to fight. So, he wants to keep his middleweight title right now, and before he moves up, and then once he get ready to move up, that's what he'll do.
All right.
Pates Nation back with another one says, difference is Canelo don't claim to retire guys. He don't plan to fight. Charlo has to see that, man. So basically he's saying Charlo says he would retire certain fighters, but then he never fights those fighters that he says he would retire.
Man, that's all fun and jokes with the fans. Yeah. You know, but that's why they fans.
Well, Ronnie,
they're not
man.
in this business.
Thank you so much. I see you getting active on your social media. Shout out to you, man. Let everybody know where they could catch you on social media and see some of these videos and posts that you do post up. And once again, man, thank you. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. But it's an official Ronnie Shields.
All right. And I think you got that blue check already, man. Shout out to the boxing world understanding your world renowned, man. But thank you once again. And we look to get you back on soon. Don't forget, at least talk to Charlo about this stuff and while doing the pass. Like, hey, man, I heard you said that about Plant, man. You really like that fight? Because that's a damn good fight, man. Listen, I'm afraid who to pick in the Plant Canelo fight. Like, I feel like Canelo is obviously stronger than Plant, but Plant's a natural 68 with very good boxing ability. He shocked us in that Ustatsegi fight. And he just keeps getting sharper. He looks very sharp. You know, I know a lot of people weren't high on that Caleb Truax fight, but, you know, only Jacobs stopped Truax. It's just the truth. You know what I mean? And Jacobs is Jacobs. So, you know, I think Plant is a damn good fighter. More of a boxer than a fighter.
Oh, he is a good fighter. He's a great fighter. I really like Caleb a lot.
Hey, Mr. Shields, I wanted to ask you a question. Sorry. Oh, sorry, Ness. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, do you have any like young kids in your gym? Like 10, 5, 4 that are training or not? Because I got like a couple of fathers that have been asking that are in that, you know, Texas area.
Yeah, I have some young kids. I got the youngest one I got is 14 years old.
Oh, that's the youngest. Nah, this guy got like a. How old was his? I think.
Little Terminator was 4.
I know he had one.
Titan was 4. The other one was
Terminator was the 5-year-old, and then he had the 100-pounder. He had a 100-pounder, 65-pounder, and like a 45-pounder.
Titan, Terminator, and Supreme. I think that's the name of the kids.
But all right, Ronnie, you know we're gonna keep you forever, man. That's what we
Hold
do.
on. I got to ask you a question, Mr. Shields, real quick. Do you have about a week or two maybe to give Nestor some lessons, because he's imparting on a fight, possibly, because a lot of people want to put hands on him. Do you think you got some knowledge to impart on?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Here he go.
I always have Nestor out.
Thank you,
there
man.
You go, Ness.
Yeah, man.
We building the A team. See, they building the team of Coach Wade and all these other. And we need to bring in the great Ronnie Shields.
That's right. He's trained all the great heavyweights, man. But
All right,
Ronnie, man, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, man.
All right, guys. There you
Yeah, have a good one, man.
You too.
You
Ronnie
too, brother.
Shields, world-renowned trainer Jermall Charlo, trainer Mike Tyson. What, he even trained Foreman. I mean, who hasn't he trained, right? We got another super chat from YouTube School who says, nobody wants real opposition. They're afraid to lose to Canelo. He meant to say not to lose Canelo. Oh, okay, lose Canelo's payday. Should have been the Canelo payday, but
Man, I'm disappointed.
What happened?
I'm disappointed, man.
What you wanted him to say and he didn't say that made you disappointed?
No, it's what he did
He
say.
ain't trying to talk about. He ain't trying to get in there with Boo Boo. That's why he can't get no Canelo fight, and they willing to wait, because you got to fight a Boo Boo. You got to fight somebody for real. Like, I love Charlo to death, but you got to fight Boo Boo. That could force a Canelo fight.
He's talking about he wants to unify like his brother, but Ronnie Shields just told us that it's impossible because he's got a deal and everybody else is on the zone. And it's just like, so are we gonna have him fight number 5, number 10 ranked? I mean, what is it coming to, man?
What do you mean when he was talking about the Triple G fight, right, Morehouse? That it couldn't happen.
Yeah, Andre's on the zone too.
I mean, unless they sign off for a one-off, I mean, but that rarely happens. That really does. Let's get to some of these super chats, though, man. I know there's plenty of them that we kind of didn't get, but we had left off at Teddy B, Midwest Sports Talk, and he said, what we not going to do is discredit Mike's resume. That was earlier. You already know Katz was already hating on Mike, like always, hating on the legend. You know what I mean? You got Super Max with a super chat, says, my 2 favorite fighters collecting belts and doing big business. What's your favorite fighter doing? El Orgullo and the Big Fish running teams. All right. Andrew Gomez says, imagine if King Nello made as many excuses as Charlo. Real recognize real. Bosses recognize bosses.
Soy el jefe de jefes, señores.
Now, my man Trey Miller says, ask Ronnie. So Bud was right?
Yo, Sam in the UK says, so Montiel's better than Yeardom? Damn! They digging up Yeardom again. Yo. Did you do the showcase one?
Nah, go ahead and shoot it. But, yo, I don't even know who Montiel is, bro.
He just beat Kirkland on Kirkland's comeback. Showcase says, this is what I'm talking about, Ness. All boxing fans are biased, even the experts. This is why they get in the ring and swing. Crying emoji, crying emoji. You got Coach Myers, I got Pace Nation, I got YouTube School. The new one is Dr. Plans, who says, if he dominates Billy Joe Saunders, Plant, then Benavidez, I'd rather see Beterbiev versus Canelo at that point, not Charlo. If he can do that, he beats Beterbiev. I mean, I already told you he beats Beterbiev today. I told you that last night. I told you that.
I think you feel like that
ago.
because of that knockdown that he had got knocked down. Archer Beterbiev is very dangerous for Canelo, bro.
No, he's a big puncher, but that's about it. He's a big puncher with a lot of like, you know,
he's
like,
overwhelming, dude.
You know, he's got like a lot of like determination and I'm gonna come forward. His mental pressure, but that shit.
Bro, he's like
that
a man possessed.
That shit works for dudes with no lateral movement. You see what Mike Polite Coffee did? Dip to the side, uppercut up. You know what I mean? Like when you can, when you can do lateral movement, you just a little bit better. You know, he got head movement. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna agree with that. Canelo's IQ, I believe, is you know, is higher than Better Be, but that style is hell to put up with. He ain't gonna be afraid to go head up with Canelo. Trust me, he ain't gonna be like you're them tentative and nothing like that. That's super dangerous. Stay away from that.
Let me get to Trey Miller that says Montiel got knocked out by Munguia in 2 rounds. Laugh out loud, 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 laughing out loud.
Yo, oh man.
No,
let me look
I'm glad that this is happening. I'm glad that this is happening because when Canelo had to fight Yeardom, oh, Eubank knocked him out. Why is he fighting him? This is what happens when we talk shit. This is what happened.
What do they say? Don't spit against the wind because it'll fall on your face.
Roll it.
Fernando Montiel, that's the guy's name?
Yeah. No, Juan Montiel. Something like that.
Juan Macias Montiel.
Yeah.
Right. Shield said he's headlining on the 12th. It better not be no pay-per-view.
That's a good day. That's our day. That's our day, man. You know, we get to do it too.
Wow, this kid is, I mean, he's not a kid, right? He's not even that young. He has a hell of a lot of fights. Shit. 379 rounds. Am I looking at the right guy here? No, this is bantamweight. Okay. I'm like, what? This guy's been in there for a very long time. All right, so I'm going to have to look through the treasury of Montiels that I'm looking at. I still don't know who he is, but yeah, I can't find him, dude. There's too many Montiels. Anyway, but nobody's really thrilled about that one, are they?
Doesn't seem like it.
Nobody cares to talk about Montiel, but
just look up Kirkland on BoxRec and you can get him there.
Oh, good shit, brother. Yeah, look, I mean, how did y'all feel about Ronnie's energy, though, man? You know, did he really, you know, give you guys an impression that he wanted one fight more than the other? You know, he was pretty stoic, hard to read. But which fight do you think that he would have rather preferred?
Nothing but Canelo. Apparently, he's going to stay right put until he gets that handout. And what's going to happen if Canelo re-ups with Eddie and Dazn? Or is that the fight just not going to happen now? I mean, this shit's crazy, man. It's crazy.
He might have to move up then, man. He might have to move up. If he can't unify because of the Triple G, you know, discrepancies and networks, what are you going to do? There's nothing else to do.
Yo, that fucking tweet is hilarious.
What tweet?
In the bro.
Let me check this out.
Yo, I'm going to have to settle this, man. So many people sending me this Shakur Stevenson thing, and they like, yo, what Puerto Rican champ is Shakur fighting? He ain't fighting no Puerto Rican on Puerto Rican Day. He's fighting on Puerto Rican Day because his father's fucking Puerto Rican, bro.
Rican, you guys slow.
Fucking weirdos out here keep yo, what champ? Who he's fighting? Oh, they're giving him a Puerto Rican to beat his ass. He's half Puerto Rican from Newark, New Jersey, where the population of Latinos is very big. What the
super
fuck,
high,
man. Yo, everybody, oh, he's gonna beat a Puerto Rican's ass. No, he's the Puerto Rican. Weirdos. Fucking weirdos, bro. J-Mac, you ain't that guy. I'm that guy.
You paying the bills? Chad.
We ain't got no bills to pay. We ain't got no bills to pay.
Chad.
But we do want you to drop us.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Subscribe to youtube.com/theboxingvoice for the latest and greatest interviews with your favorite fighters.
So you hating?
I'm that guy. What you want to bet on? Bet 100,000 on that. Let's bet $1 million. You getting that money, right? Easy. Let's bet $1 million easy. And I for the bread. When I him, y'all gonna say he was too weak on my life.
Okay, bow down, bitches. I'm about to handle business. I'ma teach you all a lesson. This'll only take a minute. Got a part and all this passion in my blood. Niggas hating just because. Think about it. Everybody love Bud. J-Mac, where you at? All these niggas hating on me. Shit is whack. So official with it. only check the stats. Hey, I'm out here trying to get it. Next, I only got a minute. Get ready for the back attack.
Yo, good morning. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, champ.
All right. I ain't going to attack Mike's resume, but he did have 13 fights in 86. Damn, he must have been walking up to bus stops, garages, barbershops, say, I'm going to fight you next. Like, just pick his
As good
opponent.
as dead.
13 fights in 86. What was the topic? What we talking? Just for shits and giggles. I didn't lost topic. Oh, Ronnie Shields. He asks. Then y'all ask. That's 2-0. You had Bill Haney and Ronnie Shields tell y'all that Bud had some. He was right about what he said, but I do give Floyd Duck black slick fighters as well too. I give that much homage, but Canelo does avoid certain styles so he can appear to be dominant. But shout out to Canelo, King Nello, the face of boxing. Definitely the face of boxing. Charlo, on the other end, keeps sitting up here having all these excuses why he can't fight nobody. And Ronnie get on here, show after show. Don't want to fight anybody. Don't want unified, but he want to be like Lil Bro. But he want to have a Lil Bro beef, but don't want to go after and unify. Be great.
Cut it. Yo, God is good, man. Shout out to Barack Bless. He is one part of the dynamic duo that is the Sweet Scientist on SiriusXM and on Dazn as the Aka and Barack show. It was their content we talked about yesterday. They are the people that Terrence Crawford opened up with and continues to open up with, so shout out again to Aka and Barack for being able to get so many fantastic guests on the show. But he was listening. He said, oh, I didn't never know Shakur's dad was Puerto Rican. Thanks for that. I'm like, yo, dog, that wasn't for you, though. My little rant wasn't for you. But, yeah.
Stupendous.
My bad. Another text. But we're going to Brandon in the Natty.
Hey, whole nother time zone. Jumped up full back with our mind on. Can't play when you here, get your life stole. If you bring it here, then the price grow. From jabbing and punching the line long. I drop a pigeon, let 9 go. We slap with the fake glass and white go. This only happens in Ohio.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Can y'all hear me?
We hear you.
Young road warrior, at work and whatnot. But hey, why do I feel like Ronnie's gonna buy like an old school Cadillac or something when that Canelo check hits the bank account, man? He really wants that damn fight. I feel like we gonna have a shag. We're gonna have a pretty cool suit on when he come back on the show. Brand new 74 caddy. Nah, but man, shout out to Ronnie Shields, man. Dude, he knows his shit, man. It's always good to hear from the OGs of the sport. And as far as the 20,000, man, that's big shit, man. He the man. Canelo is the big over. So yeah, you can't deny that man is the face of boxing right now. So shout out to him for that. And hopefully, in the near future, we get the fights we want to see, like the Charlo Andres and people like that. So, but I ain't hating, man. I like Canelo. I'm a bud tender, but I like Canelo. So you ain't gonna hear no complaints out of me about the man. So shout out to him. Shout out to Ronnie. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all have a good
one. All right. We going out to Myers, Connecticut. What up?
Coach Moyes. Coach Moyes.
Hey, what's going on, Domi?
What up?
Ain't that much. I agree with Mike. I mean, I think it'll be a good fight, but I think ultimately Canelo wins and possibly stops him. I think Charlo needs to fight better competition if he wants that Canelo fight, because that's the only way you're probably going to get it. He's probably going to have the hard road to Canelo. He should fight Boo Boo. I mean, he'll be unified, and I believe that will open up eyes. But what's this I'm hearing, young Ali coming out of retirement? for CYP? Is that true or is that just rumors?
Stupendous.
Just rumors.
But that's my call. That's my call, though.
Just rumors,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I missed that. That was yesterday's show, huh? At night.
James Payne, lethal.
Big shout out TBV, top of the morning to you. Best part of waking up, TBV in my cup. I'm in my work site real loud right now. I try to be quick. Thanks again, Mr. Ronnie Shields, for coming on, giving us that exclusive. Big shouts out to the Charlos. Big shout out to King Nello. Big shout out to TBV community, all the Border Wars fighters. Man, y'all doing the damn thing. And shout out to y'all. That's all I got. Oh, one more shout out too. I want to give a shout out to the heavy bag I did 10 rounds with last night. And man, I'm talking about man, wrist and knuckles on Swido, but it's all part of the game, baby. Shout out TBV.
All right.
Let's go, champ.
Yo,
Ice them
guys,
hands. Ice them hands.
Guys, remember when you jump on Skype, mute those mics to respect everyone's call. We going out to Essex.
Just like the king is what I mean. The king is what I mean.
Hey, yo, top of the morning, TVV. What's good?
What's happening? What's going on, King?
Hey, yo. Everything. Hey, yo, do me. Call him a Mexican. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you get when you got Dominican, Black, and Mexican. It's a Mexican. You feel me? It's crazy, yo, because Mike Tyson, listen, again, anytime the legends speak, I know I'm going to listen. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson catch me up in Starbucks. If he showed me how to throw a body shot, I'm going to be sitting there like, yo, show me the move, Mike. You know what I'm saying? I think, too, what this does, I think people is not looking at the upside. Yeah, he's not saying his name yet, but isn't this great marketing for Charlo? This is great marketing. Like, yo, say my name, Mike. Lions only. Say my name. You know what I mean? And it's not even a slight. I would take it as motivation. So I think at the end of the day, Billy Joe and Canelo, that 20,000, and what was it, in 4 hours or 4 days? What was the window of time?
1 day.
Damn. Yo, man. I'm Jamexican and fuck it, man. I'm on that shit, man. I'm on that. Yo, listen, man. Great show as always. Shout out to Ronnie Shields. He got a Brome. He got a Fleetwood Brome, Brandon. You know what I'm saying? He in that caddy, man, riding out with that Newport hanging from his lip.
Cut it.
We got Jonathan, Ohio.
Can y'all hear me?
I hear you.
We hear you, brother.
All right. I don't know if that was me coming in hot. I apologize. I got this old phone. But top of the morning. Thanks for another great show. I kind of agree with Akeem. If I was Charlo, and he got a fight coming in June, I'd flip the script and go on Mike Tyson's show immediately, and we talk, and I level the playing field. Like, to me, Mike has just opened up an avenue for Charlo to gain more fans and tell his side of the story. But if he sit back and doesn't do anything, then of course it's just going to favor Canelo, because Canelo came on Tyson's show. So if I'm Charlo, for a marketing ploy for my upcoming fight and Canelo's situation, I'll go on the show. Go on the show and talk to the man. That's all you got to do. And one other thing, Ness, I don't think it's fair to compare EJ sales to Canelo for the simple fact that Canelo's fighting in Texas when it's 100% open, and that's not what EJ had in his fight.
I mean, that's cool and all, but they compared EJ sales to Canelo sales when EJ did better last year when he fought Danny and Canelo fought Callum. So why can't we now go back and compare the fact that he outsold Canelo by 4,000 in 24 hours? I don't get it. I mean, we did that when Earl beat Canelo at sales. We celebrated. We got to now celebrate for him. You know, JT. Are you available?
JT, don't get hit with the crickets.
Keem, are you available?
Keem the Dream.
Mr. CYP, are you available?
Is that Mr. CYP?
You timing me out for talking reality about CYP versus Ness that you said you would agree to if we got 2,500 to your Cash App. You're not telling the listeners today that that's what you agreed to. 2,500 to his Cash App, he will accept the fight. I talked to Coach Wade. I talked to Bill Haney. We all have agreed that we will train for this fight. It will be going down in Wisconsin, June or whatever hell it is. I'm down 100%. Tell the people the truth. It's time for you to prove to everybody that CYP is a coward, that he's a fraud, he don't know boxing. Prove it. Prove it. Because Larry told me it's easy, light work. You're going to whoop his ass. And he met you before, Ness. He's seen you and he knows me. And he told me your ass is getting whooped. You best rethink this, partner. Because he ain't going to lie. We don't lie about our business. You cannot fuck with me. And I'm going to show you you can't if you accept like a man, like you said. So what you going to do?
Cut it. So yeah, man, what we got here is a case of clout chasing. The man's not ranked, never fought, wants to fight me. I'm the champ. I retired. You want to get me out of retirement? Like I said, you want to get Francis out of retirement? It has to be worth our while. Stop pandering to my audience. They don't know what you look like. James Payne Lethal made that obviously clear. He followed the wrong CYP. You don't exist unless you talk about me. You say you're rich. Pay the money. Stop asking my audience to pay, which they haven't. You check the Cash App. So when we get some money and you get that guarantee, then we talk. Other than that, all you're doing is clout chasing. We don't know you. You don't fight. So, you're obsessed with me. But I would gladly whoop your ass, but it's not going to be for free. It's just not going to be for free.
They going to have to send their best fighter for the champ.
You ain't going to get in the ring with me for free. Clout chasing
Go
me.
away. Go
You
back
could
to
get
the
in the
top
ring.
where you belong.
You could get in the ring for free with me by doing what everyone else got in the ring with me for free. Go ahead and earn your shot. We got some heavyweights. Whenever you're ready, let us know. But if it ain't no money in the Cash App, ain't nothing to talk about. You talking about something because you want someone to pay for you. I thought you was rich.
I gotta look after my investment.
I'm shocked. You rich, but you need an audience that you call stupid every day to pay for it. Man, get your ass out of here, man. Get the money right. I love the show too much. This is LJ Juarez. I love the show too much. I'm a young Mexican in finance, and I got to concentrate. So I have to be disciplined about turning off the show. We got to make this bread. Just Canelo. We got to make this bread. Just Canelo to keep the haters mad? I'm lost.
We got to make this bread just because Canelo. Oh, just Canelo to keep the haters mad. Because Canelo to keep. Nah. Okay. Deciphering has failed.
CYP,
we got to make this
counterpunch.
Mr. CYP.
Let's stop all the back and forth until you accept the fight. I'm broke. I don't got a gym. I'm not college educated. I'm nothing. That's what we want you to do. Prove it. All I'm saying is you go to Instagram right now, CYP Athletes, then go to Nest GTO. Who got more fucking followers? I got like 5 times more than you, and it ain't even about that. You say nobody knows me. I'm a world champion, former track and field star who raced against Usain Bolt, Tyson Gay, Justin Gatlin. I have medals.
So what are you doing here again?
I need you. I don't need you to be relevant. This is about you versus me, not the audience. You versus me.
So get that money right, man. Get that money right, man. Stop wasting our time and get the money right. Stop clout chasing.
This fight.
Time's up, man. TikTok. Yo, we going to Maryland. Talk to me, Hawk.
Hawking them down.
Yo, what's going on, fellas?
What up?
What's going on, fellas? Top of the morning. Hey,
Top of the morning.
Mike Tyson, yes, sir. I don't know, Francis is my man, but, Mike Tyson is like E.F. Hutton. When he talk, people listen.
Exactly.
That's that old time advice, bro. You can't. The man that made all the mistakes. That's why he know what not to do. But anyway, that Crawford thing yesterday. I tried to call in yesterday with him talking about Canelo not fighting the black fighters. I mean, you got Trout, Laura. You got Trout, Floyd, Jacobs, and Laura. The thing about it is, neither Charlo or Andre has fought Danny Jacobs or Laura, and they didn't. And Canelo did that like 5 years ago with Laura back when he was fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really getting that. They had 5 years since then to fight either one of those black guys. They black.
Nah, Canelo got to fight all the Mexicans, all the blacks, all the Ukrainians, all the Eastern Europeans, everybody.
Also the Martians from Mars.
Everybody else gets to fight Akinwande and Luke Keeler and now Juan Montiel.
Whoa, Jarrett Lloyd comes in 2-second style with the super chat. Says, it's too early for the emotions. Hit the Carl Thomas for that butt tender.
All right, looking like
CYP counterpunch.
Edwin Solano. What up, Chad?
Wow. Oh, Viva Mexico.
Vaya.
Vaya pues, el Rey keeps coming up. Hey, I'm super excited for May 8th, buddy. I can't wait. He's going to prove everybody wrong again and again and again.
Vamos pues.
CYP counterpunch.
I'm going to put you to sleep.
Yo, put on mute. Listen.
Mr. CYP.
On mute.
You on mute? We can't hear you, Mr. CYP.
We heard him say he on mute like 5 times.
Homeboy. Anyway, what's the deadline to get this money, man? What's the deadline?
I don't know. I don't really have a deadline, man. It just got to be, decent so that I can have a normal camp, right? I don't want to be in the middle of camp, No.
All I need is the deadline, man. That's it. Simple question. What's the deadline?
I don't know. Just send the money. You rich. Why we
Sooner
discussing
the better.
this? You know
Sooner
what I'm
the
saying?
better.
Like, this is what I don't get. He comes on the show so many times and says how rich he is and how much money he got. Now he's asking for people to donate. Like, you got the money. Just cash at me. You've done that before. It's not like I haven't refunded your money for other fights. You know my address. Like, show the people you big and bad, bro. Pay for that fight, man. Let's be the main event or shut the fuck up. LJ Juarez says, like, with an asterisk, Canelo, my bad. So he had messed that up. We got Hamilton. Talk to me.
Wiz.
Natural
Wiz,
that is. What it is.
What up?
Who's back
El Natural.
Why is everybody so emotional?
I don't know, man. Canelo does that. When you got Mike Tyson saying Canelo beats up, some of these guys' favorite fighter, it rubs them the wrong way.
When a great speaks, you're gonna listen. Period. Right? There's no reason to get emotional, and all these people on these calls getting all emotional about Mike and talking about being bankrupt. The guy got experience with. When he talks, you're gonna listen, man. I don't know. You guys just need to get a tissue and go into your own room and cry or something. Do something productive. I don't know, but that's my call, man.
All right, we got Coach.
Right.
Oh no, Myers is gone. All right,
Dark sauce.
That's everyone. Nest GTO, Instagram and Twitter. Catch us on the next one. We're definitely going to do some more. There's some other breaking news out there we want to talk about. So, tune in, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and make sure that you hit that notification bell.
Counterpunch.
CYP.
Come on down.
Yo, listen. If there ain't no limit, 2 weeks. Because I'm gonna tell everybody who's listening.
Nah, you too rich for 2 weeks.
I'm not giving anybody. Stop cutting me off, man.
You too
I'm
rich
not
for
giving
that.
There you go again. I'm not giving you $1 of my money to help you make more money for
Well, you ain't got no fight then.
I will do.
You
I
ain't
will
got
get
no fight.
I'm going to get the money. 2 weeks, you got the money. You ain't getting $1 of mine though. You get the money.
You got till today. You got till the end of today to get the money, rich man. You got till today to get the money, rich man. And I don't want no help. So if you got conditions and you said, I ain't paying you shit. Well, I got conditions too. I ain't accepting no donations now. Fuck is you talking about? Nigga, you here because of me. They only want to see you fight me. Ain't nobody telling you to fight nobody else. It's about me, not about you. Until you learn that, you're going to be getting, the hard end of the stick every single fucking time. Get the money, man. Stop begging for money. You told us you was rich, motherfucker. Get the money. Show us. Rich people have money. I bet you if you and I make $1,000 bet right now, I can send you 10,000 right now. Or matter of fact, not you, because you won't send it back. I'll send it to Keem the Dream right now. Show me you got money. It ain't that serious now. Get your ass out my fucking chat. Now it ain't that serious. The rich guy, the gold medalist. I got money. Ness broke. Shut your dumb ass up, man. Ness out, man. You see what I'm saying? Put your money where your mouth is, man. Put your money where your mouth is, man. All that talk, begging motherfuckers for help. The same people you call stupid and try to undermine in the chat, now you want them to donate. Where your fucking money at? Big business owner. Everybody knows CYP a business owner because he tell us and brag so much. Show us the money. Don't just talk about it.
Happened?
Silly Billy. Come on, man. Nez GTO, I'm out.
No comment.